Hi there. Welcome back to Live at C4 Operations. This is our second installment, and we're going to talk more about consent forms tonight. But before we do, we've got some of our C4 team here that's going to welcome you. So here they are. Everybody?
Hi.
Very good.
Welcome to C4 Operations.
All right, so that's everybody. Welcome. Thank you very much, you guys. You guys can go back to work now and do your wonderful job. So that is most of the C4 team. There's a few people missing right now, but that's most of the C4 team. Just wanted them to welcome you and say hi. Like we said, we are going to cover the rest of the background checks. The rest of the consent form stuff tonight, which will be, we're going to cover three things. We're going to cover where do we find it in the system, which we're going to show you, how to upload it onto the results page, and then if you don't have a scanner or a fax, a phone app that we can show you. You've got the phone right here. So we're going to show you how to do it on a phone app there. And so we will do that, and then we'll say goodnight. All right, so here we go. First of all, first things first, we're going to show you how to find it in the system. So what we're going to do with our little intro there, all my screens went black for a minute, but that's all right. So we are going to, we're going to pretend like you're already logged in. And so you just use your username and login to get to this screen. And then you're going to come up here in the upper right-hand corner, and it's either going to have your name with a little icon there, or it's going to have your initials in a circle. Depends on which user interface you are using. And that's a little hint. In the next few weeks, you're going to know more about our new user interface that everybody will be moving over to. So your screen will look a little bit different, but we will tell you more about that in coming weeks. But for consent forms, you go here, and this is how you get to the document library, not just consent forms, but all of our document library. You go to help, and then it's going to pull up another screen, and I'm going to actually bring this screen over here, and it's going to bring up a screen like right here, and just open up this screen here, and then you've got all of the consent forms right here. So if you want, you can go to court access fees, motor vehicle costs, state forms, user guide. All those other things are accessible to you, but tonight we're talking about consent forms. So here's the tenant consent form if you do property management and rentals and those kinds of things. Or for most of you, you would want the one right here. You would want the employment or volunteer consent form. And so that is what that is for there. So you click on it there, and then it's going to download, depending on what kind of computer you use. If you use an Apple like this, it's going to download up into the download section right here. Sometimes if you have it set like I do, it'll just open right up. Or if you're on a PC, you may have to go down into your downloads area and open it up from there. But it'll download it onto your computer, and then you just kind of open it up here, and you can see this is the consent form here. And like we talked about last week, but just to make sure we kind of reiterate that information, please make sure that you are using our consent form. And as you can see on here, all it has is the stuff about the FCRA, the very, very important information about the FCRA, which is right here, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You can see my cursor right there, Fair Credit Reporting Act right there, and the section about that. And this is all about the summary of rights, and that is why this is so important, is this explains their summary of rights right up here for the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And then all they do is they sign it. Actually, they print their name right here, and they sign it right here. If you see the yellow box right underneath here, that is for the minors, that if we have to do a background check on minors, their legal guardian is here, and then their legal guardian's signature is here, and the minor's name would be printed here, and the minor would sign here. So that's the way that we do that. So that is the actual consent form, okay? So you can do a few things from this point right here. You can print it. You can print it here. You can you can email it. You can save it to your computer. You can do all of those things. So that's how you find it, okay? Again, a little quick review. Just go up here. That opens up your document library. You go here to or here, consent form or here. The other thing that's in here that we tell you about also is the employment background check screening information form. Because on your consent form, there's not a lot of other information like the person's name or address. That has to do with all of those lawsuits that we talked about last week. So just the signature is on here now. If you need all of that other information, you can go here and get the employment background check screening or the expanded form if we do verifications for you. So that gives a place for them to fill in like their school, their college, their former employers, etc., etc. So you get all of that information that we would need in order to do the proper background checks for you. All right, so that's item number 1 on our list on where to find it. Now, once you have it, okay, now let's upload it onto an actual report. So you can go into your system and find the report that you want to find. So you go over here to reports, and I'm just going to pretend that it was one of the last 10 that we can open it. So you can do it one of 2 ways. The best way to do it is do it while you're doing the background check, which is what we'll show you here in a minute. Or if you want to do it after the fact, maybe you didn't have it ready or whatever, you want to do it after the fact, you can go to reports, whatever the report is, find the report, or you can actually search up here too by file number and go to the file number or the person's last name and search in this box here. Either way is fine. But let's pretend that we're just going to open up this report right here, and this is the report that we want to attach it to, okay? So say that you're doing the background check, and you get to that results screen you get to the last screen of your background check. It's going to have a box just like this. It's going to say attachments, okay? You go here, you push plus, you want to attach an authorization form, okay? Again, it's going to open up a little box up to the left up there, right here. And so then you open up that little box, and it's going to already say authorization form, and then you just hit choose file, and the form I'm looking for is right here, my consent form, Buzzy consent form. So you just double click that, it goes right into there. You hit upload, wait about 2 seconds, and boom, there it is right there. So now you open that up, and you will see there's the consent form right there with my wonderful message.